1 minute versus 10 minutes versus 1 hour. I challenged myself to play Chick Corea's Spain in 3 different time constraints to see if more time means better music. Let's get right into it. 1 minute is on the clock. Let's go. The rules for the challenge are real simple. I get 3 practice sessions, a 1-minute practice session, then a 10-minute session, and then a 1-hour session. And after each of those practice sessions, I have to perform it for you wherever I happen to be in the moment. The whole idea for this video, I straight up stole from Annique over at the YouTube channel Heart of the Keys. She's a great classical piano player and she does this same challenge all the time with classical music. I really wanted to know what the jazz version of this challenge was. So Annique, if you see this, know that I stole this concept from you because I admire you and love your channel so much.
Okay, let's see how we can do after 1 minute.
So as we kick off the 10-minute practice session, I love this piece so much. Spain has been one of the songs in my rotation ever since I was in music school and I got introduced to Chick Corea for the first time. And I think one of the reasons that I've been so hesitant to play it my whole life is because I love it so much. I really think it deserves to be played well. There are 2 main goals I have to really accomplish in this 10-minute session if I have any chance at all of being successful in an hour. And that is, first of all, most importantly, I have to memorize it. I gotta know the changes, the melody, and I gotta know those unison 2-handed lines. Those signature Chick Corea lines. I've really got to get the rhythm and the articulation and the feel down. Otherwise, I don't think it's gonna groove like the way that Spain needs to groove. As you can see, I'm playing with the iPad off a lot. That's just a general rule when I'm trying to memorize something is that like 80% of the time I'm playing by memory, and I only turn it on when I need some kind of reference or when I can't figure something out by ear. For me, when I use my ear, things become much stickier and much easier for me to remember, and so I try as much as possible to memorize songs by learning them by ear. But there are a few sticky places, especially in these melodic lines, where I want to make sure that I get it exactly right. So I am referring back to the music from time to time. The other thing that I have to get down here before the time runs out is the kind of fingering and the technique of those signature lines. I decided I wanted to play them in 2 hands, mirroring each other 2 octaves apart. I think it gives it a nice color on the piano, but it is technically a little bit tricky to play. This is the kind of thing that I would drill for hours and hours and hours so that it really gets baked into my hands, but of course, we don't have that time right now. The one thing that's really working for me is that the chord progression of this song is very simple. We're in the key of B minor, and the chord progression just starts on the 6 and it walks right down the scale. There's a couple 2/5s in there, but generally it's just going 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So memorizing that is not really too big of a deal.
That 10 minutes went by way faster than I thought, and I am not feeling great about this. Obviously, I'm really struggling with the memorization here. We're going to have to make up for that in the 1-hour practice. At this point, I've made a pretty hard call, and I decided I was going to learn those signature lines completely by ear. I was not going to let myself look at the notation at all. I knew that would help my memory be sticky. Have you ever been trying to play a song by ear, but when you get in the middle of it, you doubt yourself? Like maybe you don't really know the melody. Maybe it actually goes up here, not down here. Or does it go to the minor third or the major third? This is exactly what's going through my head right now. I'm starting to have a mild panic attack that I'm actually going to be able to do this.
As I'm getting started here in the 1 hour practice session, there's a little Josh in my head that's kind of nagging me because those 10 minutes went by really fast. I did not get as far as I wanted to, and now I'm really getting concerned that I'm going to run out of time. There's a whole lot that I have to accomplish in this hour. See, the 10-minute version, we kind of technically got through the song. I made it through the changes and the melody, just kind of alright, but there was nothing musical about it. There was no groove. I really didn't like the way that it felt. Of course, we didn't get into soloing or improvising or anything. And so the focus of what I'm trying to do in this session here is to really get the groove underneath my hands. I'm spending a lot of time just comping through the changes with a backing track. I don't ultimately think I'm going to just comp in the performance at the end. We'll see what happens. But it really helps me to comp through the changes to start to get the feel and the groove and kind of where I want to accent things and how I want the hits to fall and things like that. So I've probably spent 3 or 4, maybe even 5 minutes just straight comping over the groove. I also have to start how I'm going to get this song started. In Light as a Feather, Chick Corea plays this kind of rubato style. I think I'm going to do something like that, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of resigned to the fact that these mirrored signature lines in both of my hands are just going to happen or they're not. At this point, I've done everything I can to memorize them with the time that I have. I don't think it makes any sense to put more time into it. I think I basically know how it goes. If not, I'm just going to run with it and see what happens. I really want to spend a good amount of time thinking about how I'm going to treat the melody. The first time through, I've been leaning towards playing the melody in sixths. The left hand is going to have to be responsible for that kind of Latin bass feel. And so to get some of the chords in there, I need to put some of the harmony in the right hand, and playing sixths is kind of a great way to do that. For the second time through, I think I'm going to bring in a backing track. I have this idea for the melody where I can play these big, thick versions of the chords in 2 hands, kind of locked, both hands locked in the same rhythm. And I'd like to have the bass line and the kind of the overall feel in the backing track there so I can do that. Of course, it'll be easier for me to try and take a solo if I don't have to worry about keeping that groove underneath it as well. As we get down here to the final minutes, I realize I don't even know what scales to play over these last couple chords. I guess I'm just gonna follow my ear and see what happens, but that could be a disaster waiting to happen. And I realize now with like 30 seconds left on the timer that I didn't even think about how I'm going to end it.
1 hour was not enough time for this tune. You can see I'm exhausted, but I'm actually feeling pretty confident right now. I think I can pull this off if I can just get focused and lock it in.